In today's video, I'm going to show you why having a secondary Instagram business page is necessary the moment you sell anything online. Now, the biggest misconception and the reason of making this video is because I had a couple people reaching out to me recently that said, Nick, listen, I made a secondary Instagram page, but it just doesn't work. It won't convert better. I don't know how to position it. I don't know how to design it. And there are three main components that you need to have in order to make this successful in the first place. Because otherwise, if you don't have these three components, it will work against you. And that is the biggest problem because you don't want to have it work against you. If it works against you, you're decreasing your monetization, which is the biggest problem if you sell anything online. Now, let me explain you first the reason of why it's important to have a secondary business page. People buy whenever things are extremely simple to understand. And the reason why this is important is because when people feel like they're missing something, they won't make the purchase based on confusion. A confused customer never buys. So the reason why we make two channels is because we focus on separating the two most important components while combining them together. But if you do and utilize these two most important components on one channel, you'll fuck it up for yourself most of the time, unless you have a decently smaller brand. When you have, let's say, a couple thousand followers and you make, let's say, 10,000, 20,000 a month, cool. You can pull it off with one account. When you have multiple followers increasing by, let's say, fucking like 100,000 or 50,000, and you make $50,000 a month, 30 or 100 plus, you have to separate these assets because a confused mind doesn't buy. Now, these two most important components of what makes a customer buy are brand and trust. And trust is all the credibility and the proven methods that they see that they know works by life case studies, life testimonials, or life examples. And brand is your values, who you are, the reason of why they trust you, and your value. Now, ultimately, we can do a lot of things with this business page. Now, I had clients joining months ago that had multiple problems, and this was one small problem. And after they joined, we just fixed it, and their leads just getting on calls saying, listen, I just saw your testimonials. I'm ready to fucking pay. I saw your credibility with X, this person, and I'm just converted. I just trust that the vehicle that you're expressing in your content works, and I want to know more about it. That's the reason why that trust factor is instantly eliminated on sales calls. And that is what this business page does if you do it the right way. Now, I have like a 3-step process in which I structure this to make sure it leans towards massive monetization and potential instead of it working against you. Because the only problem that there is with content is it can work against you. And that is the reason why people sometimes make loads of money and then don't understand why the fuck they haven't made a single sale. So if you don't do this the right way and you don't follow a proven process, just like how I've created it for myself, you'll fuck it up for yourself. So you need that. So you can reach out to me on Instagram. And second thing, I have people try to copy me and said, Nick, it doesn't work. Obviously, because my brain, my brand, my values are completely different to who you are as an identity, which is the biggest problem. Because you can't replicate no one. You can replicate systems. And you can replicate certain processes, right? Whenever something has a direct output, but you can't copy someone's mind. You can copy someone's visual if it's not aligned with who you are and what you do. So I just want to have that disclaimer. Like, it's very important that you do this right, and that if you do this the wrong way, you could fuck it up for yourself. I fucked it up for myself in the beginning, but I kept continue doing it to make sure I did it the right way. Now, why is this important to have in the first place, right? You can sell your company. Nick Setting became the main brand, right? Vic Holding Company, Nick Setting becomes a brand, becomes the name. And you have Grow Acquisition, which is ultimately the systems that I license to my clients that I sell, right? The coaching. And the most beautiful thing is the moment I started to grow my brand, I sold under my name. But if I build a business page, I can now relate my mechanisms, my systems, and my coaching with that brand, right? Now, I am operating under that brand. So it's a perfect mix because Grow Acquisition is the company and Nick Setting is the person that fuels that company. And trust is created based on a person, not a system. But that system is what they need to ultimately get to that result. And it's promoted by a trusted person. You see how that perfectly interacts? Now, ultimately, the reason why is this important? Info products are hard to sell. That does not mean it's impossible. Now, if I want to keep growing my brand, why would I keep selling under my brand? Constantly, only Nick Setting under my name. If I have the potential to make $10 million total liquid in the upcoming 2 years. And I've already made $4 million cash with the company. So we're fucking doing really good and we're definitely on track because I'm scaling extremely quick right now. And let's say there gets an opportunity in 5 years or 2 years or maybe a year, maybe 4 years, I don't know when, that I want to continue building my brand, but I don't want to continue selling info. I can sell this entity, let's say for a 2-3x multiple, which is not a lot, but the licensing, the systems is something that I can sell, which is absolutely amazing because you won't be able to sell it like a software company for a 10x. But when we have recurring revenue coming in, when we have a system that sells, when we have a proven process of selling this system, it becomes interesting for other people to buy, right? Now, that existing clientele is already there. So that increases the valuation of the company, meaning I won't be able to sell it for a 10x, but let's say a 2 to 3x in the first place. If you can sell it for a couple million extra, why wouldn't you do that? So that is one of the main reasons of why I think it's very important to have a secondary Instagram business page. Now, the second reason is you want to have prospects on a call that tell you, yo, hey, you know what? Like I have seen your secondary business page and I'm just mind blown by the results. When you put current results on a normal page, the problem that happens is you confuse the buyer because you show testimonials, you show them value. Like it's a lot of stuff in one bucket. So the bucket is full very quick. Meaning if that happens, you will always be able to distribute more, but the confusion wouldn't, like this is the thing. If you have one bucket and this bucket is full, right? And to give you a perspective of an example, because there are so many necessary things you need to provide to get a customer, like value, like trust, like credibility, lifestyle, you all put that in one bucket. If you want to grow that, you grow each by an X amount of percentage, but you cannot grow one to its fullest potential. You see what I mean? So when you have something external, you can grow that to its fullest potential. And when you have something internal, let's say the company, the brand, you can grow that to its fullest potential. And because it's so aligned, it perfectly sells. And then you get customers on the call that say, you know what, I saw your testimony. I don't have any questions anymore. I just have questions about the offer. It solves that whole problem. That is also the reason why I have a secondary YouTube channel when it comes down to my testimonials. So like a secondary YouTube channel, Nick Setting Testimonials, where I provide purely testimonials on how I help my clients solve lots of problems. And that was the main channel that I fucked up the moment I started posting, which worked against me based on the data from sales calls. So because I positioned it wrong, and this is the thing, there are a couple of things you can position wrong you need to take into account. The most important thing, the context of the video format or verbal talk or visual shown, whatever, right, is the most important thing. So whether you make a carousel, whether you make a single post, whether you make a reel, whether you make a YouTube video, the format of what you actually show in the video and the way you structure it to convert a buyer in its mind is the most important thing. And we, with our clients, utilize a 12-step framework, and this framework is extremely important. Well, I can also send you that on Instagram. Just reach out to me, because if you miss that, it'll probably work against you, because that's the problem I had in the beginning. So what happened is my team gave me the feedback that when clients came on calls, they saw these videos and it confused them more, which is one of the biggest problems, because what happened is they got on calls and instead of it solving problems for them, it didn't create actual problems, but it created more questions, which causes more problems, if that makes sense. The more objections you need to handle, the more problems you have instantly, the more doubts people have in their mind, which is something that I fucked up. Same counts on my Instagram business page. So we changed it all around, and now it's highly profitable and extremely efficient in the way we leverage it. Secondary to that, instantly the thought of you having a secondary Instagram page or a secondary YouTube channel with testimonials works in your favor based on the fact that people tell you and people know, like, you created a complete separate channel or a separate business page just for proof. And that thought is instantly what creates all the trust. You see where I'm coming from? And that's something you can't forget. So with loads of clients, I also, certain niches absolutely don't need to make a business page. There are certain niches where when you make a business page, it instantly fucks itself up. So you need to make sure that you're in the right niche to be able to follow this procedure. Because if you don't, like, you're gonna fuck it up for yourself. Like, please be careful with this because you don't wanna do it wrong. I've did it wrong in the first place. And I can tell you right now that most people, if they were in my shoes, the moment I did it wrong, they would give up doing it. But no, it can create an upside potential, because for me, it has made me at least like hundreds of thousands of extra dollars per year by just having fucking something, a crazy asset, a crazy channel, a crazy page that just purely provides proof. And that is how you can slowly build your brand, put that under a different name, put the system under a different name. So the moment you want to sell it, you get a couple mil for it. And if you don't sell it, fine, it's a different entity. You can sell anything else on your brand. I can sell cupcakes, people would buy it. You see what I mean? So when you separate them, when you separate these two, then you have all the freedom to do whatever you want. You don't want your brand to be attached to something. And that is one of the biggest problems. Now, we recently helped one of our clients, Amir. You can check him out, Amir Janbi. Very fucking cool dude. He's coming to the Serbia client retreat very soon. And this is one of the problems that we helped him solve, because for him, like, credibility was a very big thing, as well as we find like a direct return on investment angle for his mindset offer. He has a mindset offer. Nobody in the market besides us can solve the problem of selling an indirect return on investment offer, like a fitness offer, or because finance offers are decently easy to sell when you have the right angle, but mindset offers are not. Trust me, like, they're not easy to sell. And that hence is the reason why he's fucking dominating, because he doesn't have any competition, because nobody can fucking sell it. Like, try to charge 15 grand for mindset. You should check that testimonial out. Very valuable one. Now, I fucking love to make these videos. I think this is very valuable for a lot of people, and it gives people a lot of insight on what's actually possible building a fucking info product. And it just makes me excited, because I wake up every single day with one mission, and that mission is trying to make it impossible for anyone not to create simplicity with scaling an info product, making millions, and distributing insane content that they can be proud of to make massive impact. I appreciate you. See you later. Ciao.